Just to kind of set the stage for Amine, we had some awesome updates in the last week. We launched an emulator for Magic Agents. For those of you who are looking to get Magic Agents to triage and work on your threads, you can now test that out without actually launching a real ticket in your PSA. So we launched an emulator so you could try everything out. That's emulator is named after or in honor of Josh Weiss from Logic TCG, one of our partners who really pushed us hard to build this experience out for you guys. And then we also have some other quick improvements that we're going to announce. Some just nice little quality of life updates, the master intent, character counters, and more. So Amine, I'll let you kick it off.
Amazing. Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. Very happy to see you all again. I'm going to be sharing my screen. There we go. And let's go. Perfect. So as Steve mentioned, we are deploying a very cool tool in Magic Agents. We've been hearing a lot of feedback from partners that they wanted to test the Magic Agent before pushing everything in production to their clients. And they don't want also to create tickets in their PSA by testing the agent. So what we did is to add this toggle here. So the full experience is exactly what we had before. So if you start typing here in your conversation, it's going to react exactly as the same if a client reached out to you. So it's going to create a ticket in the PSA. It's going to run all the Magic AI tools, and it's a real ticket that is going to be created. But what we added here is an emulator that will allow you to test either your master intent modifications that you have, or any of the intents catalog that you installed, or any of the custom intents that you have. The goal here is to help you fine-tune your intents or just see how the agent is reacting. And for that, we added this option for you guys. You can test as much as you want. You can clear the conversation and go on a different flow. It's definitely missing few features that are related to the full experience, but you can have a very good idea about how the agent is going to react to your clients. Any questions here? Any feedback? Anyone is very excited to have this so they can test more things? Yes, I think Josh, you have one.
Yes. How do you test client specific or contact specific intents there? If you have, or even what are they called? When you have multiple of the same intent, how do you test those in the emulator?
That's a great question. The emulator is designed to be able to pick up any type of intent that you have created, no matter who is the contact that is selected, or the contact type, or the client that is selected. I will continue testing this just to make sure that it's working, but it's supposed to pick up based on the conversation that you have to pick up the right intent. But great point.
Yeah, if you have two clients, client 1 and 2, and they have different things to do when you type the same thing, it's which one will it do, right?
Which one will it pick and how it will end?
Yeah, I mean, if it's like, hey, you can specify client name at the first thing, like client 1, and then do your intent, like you can put the client's name, and then it'll pick up on that. That would be probably the easiest way, I guess.
Yeah, I will see how that would work here. In my understanding, how that can work is that you can have an internal company maybe and assign it at the same time in the contact type. I will check that and come back to you guys and see how that can be tested to make sure that each flow will go to the right client or contact type.
Or like Steven said, can you emulate or just click a manage contact, right? First thing you do is pick a contact and then it does the intent. Because then it would trigger on client contact type. If they're a VIP, it does something different, right? Like you got to be able. So it's like you need to emulate a person, a real person.
Yes. So that's a great point. So from my understanding, it's not only to test the conversation, but to test from a specific perspective, right? from depending on a contact type or a client. That's a great point. I think that's a great improvement that we can have for this one. But keep those feedback coming. That's helping us a lot to make the emulator way more complete than those 4 steps. But again, this is really the beginning of being able to have a sandbox for Magic Agents. So we're getting there.
I mean, what else do we got?
What else do we have? So a part of the emulator, which is probably one of the biggest thing in this demo, we added a bunch of small improvements. So probably, as you can notice now, we have the master intent very close to the rest of the custom intents. So it's just to improve usability. So we're able to have a good sneak peek on what's the master intent. So what's changed? So first, it's the placement. It's easier to access, easier to read, and you have everything in one place. What else that we added? We added the button reset to default. So in case you're playing a little bit too much with the master intent, doing experimentation, if you find yourself that you got into a place where it's not working as you wanted, you can always reset to the system default that we have. We also added the character counter here. So we know exactly what's the size of the instructions that you can add. And we added the character counters in every place where we have a prompt that needs to be entered in Magic Agent. Again, just because we've been receiving a lot of feedback where users were frustrated that they didn't know exactly what's the limit, so they can design correctly their prompts. Small usability improvements that should just improve a little bit the quality of life of the users. What else do I have?
Question for you, I mean, on that master intent. We got a question from one of our partners the other day. Why are we limiting the master intent to 1,024 characters?
So this is a limit from OpenAI. Unfortunately, it's not something that we can control. We wanted to have a little bit more, but this specific parameter of the master intent that we're sending to OpenAI is limited by OpenAI. So for now, it's 1024. Maybe they're going to release the chat 3.0 soon, or 5.0. And we can probably have a bigger limit, but for now, that's what we have. But also note that the master intent improvements that we see here are part of a bigger initiative. I think, Steve, you saw what's coming, and some of those partners that are here today saw also what's going to be the future of the master intent. The future of the master intent is going to be way easier and easier to control too. So it's going to be more setting-based than text-based, with still an opportunity to be able to add some custom rules. But for now, we're just trying to make it easier to manage by having it here.
I'd love to hear from our partners too, like what you guys think about the master intent. And if you guys have customized this in any way, I'd love if you guys want to share in the chat what you guys have built. It's always incredible to see how everyone's using this incredible tool.